Blog Talk Radio.
No.
Warning.
Okay then.
Warning.
Welcome to the 2-minute warning.
You like that, right?
Sound.
I salute you.
I'm trying to blow your mind. I'm talking literally blow your mind. I'm trying to blow your mind. I'm talking literally blow your mind.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It is MMA Mondays with your favorite hosts of the Pride Rules podcast. I am the Reverend Tommy D. Joined with me, as always, El Professor Omar Sangarima, and two hits from the bong, Chris Gucci. We are sponsored.
Just one. I'll let you know when.
We are sponsored by 80K Fightwear, Black Hole Jiu-Jitsu, Madama Jiu-Jitsu, and 2-Minute Warning 360 Sports. Well, guys, Thanksgiving was Thursday. I don't know about you, but I am still stuffed. Thank God Thanksgiving is on a Thursday and not on a Saturday, or else it would have been a really, really bad ride into work Sunday morning. How was your holidays, guys?
I gained 8 pounds in a day and then suffered for 3 days afterwards. So that's pretty much how my shit went. I'm not even joking.
That's par for the course, man. Yeah, I think I gained like about 5, and then I'm still like my knees still hurt from pushing around the extra weight. I'm like, oh Christ, getting old sucks, guys. Don't do it.
Yeah,
don't do it.
It was capped off by a Packer loss as time expired. So my holidays.
Yeah, this was an interesting weekend for fights. You had, the Shanghai surprise with Bisping getting knocked the fuck out.
It wasn't really that
Gordon Ryan beating Halleck Gracie, and Aqib Talib getting a fucking two-piece from Michael Crabtree yesterday for ripping his chain. What a weekend.
Shanghai surprise, though. I'm still stuck on Shanghai surprise because I feel like that's something you pay for extra. I don't know how you got that for free, Tommy. I mean, did you pirate the Shanghai surprise? That sounds dirty as fuck as well.
I mean,
all right,
no so
did the Shanghai surprise follow, or should it follow a massage by any chance?
I really think it did. Yeah.
Well, it's usually before the Cambodian creamsicle. Usually.
Oh no. I usually do it before the Nicaraguan crab cake. That's kind of my. That's my 1-2 piece.
So let's. Oh God, here we go. So let's talk a little bit about that the Shanghai fight. Well,
I thought you were gonna say it.
The only one.
Yeah, because I mean, is it really the only one that people cared about? To be frank,
wasn't there somebody was stifling Top Control? Luke Thomas tweeted about some really good grappling guy that was like doing Khabib like Top Control.
I mean, yeah. I can't wait to see him fight.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the only fight that meant, and it's funny that the only reason why the Bisping fight meant anything is because the guy that Kelvin was supposed to fight got popped on steroids. So between Sakuraba and USADA, the Brazilians have been wiped out by two people. It's unbelievable, and it's a shame. But
they haven't taken that much of an L since they faced Germany a couple of years ago. They've just been getting washed.
So here's my take on this. Congratulations for Kelvin. Thank you for giving us another, meme-worthy Michael Bisping knockout. But
Perfect.
do you think it was more? Do you think it was more? Bisping shouldn't have been in that fight because of the GSP fight than Kelvin winning. I mean, yes, Kelvin's a great fighter, but he's not a middleweight. You know what I mean? He did the same thing to Weidman. Weidman walked right through it. He knocked him down. Weidman got back up
My
and
whole
beat him.
thing is, I can't say now, he shouldn't have fought because I was saying that he was okay to fight on last week's show. So,
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with you saying after the fight saying maybe he should.
But people,
there's nothing wrong with that.
But it's easy. The point that I'm making is it's very easy to say that in hindsight. I mean, he could have fought on 6 months rest and still gotten knocked out with that punch. I mean.
Yeah, but I think
solid
on
shot.
6 months, I think with a full camp and him. Well, I mean, he had a full camp because he just got out of a fight camp. But
yeah, it's not like
if he didn't have his head pinged around like he did with GSP, I don't think he would have went down so easy. You know what I'm saying? It's just like with Forrest Griffin when he was training for Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva knocked him out with a jab. Everybody was thinking that the fight was fixed. No, it was because Forrest Griffin got knocked out 6 times in sparring in that training camp. You can't do that and then go into the fight because you're just not going to be there.
It was both, I think.
And on top of that,
somebody got an
the fight
ambulance.
was also big.
100%.
No, I don't believe that the fight was big.
I do.
Yeah, it's just I don't want to take anything away from Kelvin, but to me that fight didn't mean anything. It didn't prove anything to me. You know what I mean? It just didn't because I think, and it's going to sound crazy coming from me, but I think with a full camp, well, a full normal camp for Bisping, he beats Kelvin on stamina alone and size. Kelvin's too small. The 155-pound division where you could be undersized and still be successful.
I don't really look at Kelvin as like that small, though, man. He's a big dude.
He's small. He's just small in comparison to the guys that he's got to fight. He doesn't have the reach and the length. He's just too short. He's too short.
Is Romero too short?
Here's somebody who's not too short.
We have a caller on the line?
I think.
Caller?
Oh, yeah.
What's up, Kareem?
What's going on, man?
Just wanted to jump on and show some love to one Mr. King Ryan, who submitted Halleck at a Metamoris event, just as he said, with the submission he said in the time limit, stated right before he does his EBI open weight. Fucking fantastic.
You know what? Thank God it ended in a submission, because that's my one gripe with Metamoris. They just a draw. If you know what I mean? That's what sucks.
The understanding, though, from the few people who saw it, like posting and just like laughing everywhere, is that pretty much toyed with him up to the point where he said, "This is when I'm going to submit him," and then did it.
Yeah. Everything I read, it was pretty much what you just said.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it,
and this
though.
is before he goes in to defend his EBI open weight title, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, I hope that the EBI event's not $20.
Is Gordon Ryan having the best year, like in submission in submission grappling? Like, right? Like he just nabbed ADCC, right? He put some pretty mean ass motherfuckers away, right? And then he just keeps on taking scalps at all these other events. Like, what other 365-day period? Yes, he's a black belt that hunts other black belts. Like, I haven't, call me nuts, guys, but like I haven't seen this crazy run of dominance since like a Hodger or even like a Marcelo. Where there was that span of time, right?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, and like the squad has the whole scene pretty much on lock. But Eddie all but declared open war on them. He's like, those are the guys we got to take out.
Good luck.
Well, yeah, but let's look at the top guys coming out of the death squad just on the grappling circuit alone. You got Gordon Ryan, his little brother Nicky, and Gary Tonin.
Yeah.
Those are 3 guys that you're going to be looking at across the mat going, fuck, I need to pack a lunch. And it's not going to be easy.
Pack a lunch, yo.
Let's not forget, the side standout people are overlooking a little bit too is one Mr. Jake Shields, who has been in constant training with the squad now.
But I'm talking about for competition. That's what I mean, for competition.
Yeah. He's doing submission undergrounds and shit for Chael, isn't he?
Yeah. He's
and
doing them,
Jake
and he's
Shields.
winning.
That's what's crazy. He's old as shit, like relatively. No offense, Jake, but like for the grappling scene, right? He's got a lot of miles on him. He's vegan as fuck, right? He's out there plant powered and kicking ass, and it's just nuts. I'm like, people sleep on Jake Shields, and then they go to sleep once they meet him. So it's kind of like a double.
I mean, he already had he already had great jiu-jitsu to begin with. So now with the Death Squad, I mean, great googly moogly. It's over, baby.
Right. Honestly, East Coast, West Coast combined. That sort of style, and he's just, oh man, he has even in MMA, that dude has a record and a dossier of scalps that is pretty impressive. I know his style is not exactly maybe in MMA as exciting as one might like, but he's put away some pretty top guys,
Dan Henderson.
I thought he was going to have a good chance against GSP. I didn't think it was going to be as kind of one-sided as it was, but I thought he stood a decent shot.
Me too. I did as well, but I was wrong.
He could win a Legends bracket, I think. GSP.
I don't know. He's not, doesn't have that GOAT mentality. He's not doing as many steroids as the GOAT himself, So, by as many, I mean any.
Shots fired.
Yo.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm never letting that go, Chris.
But here's my point. Anderson Silva in his prime still would have beat up all those guys at their best, too.
No way.
Anderson Silva
out
in
of
his
here.
prime could have been on steroids. Wait, we don't know. He could have been on steroids that whole time in his prime. We don't know.
You're 100% right. Probably was.
Same with Jones, honestly.
I would imagine that he was.
GOAT status. Yeah, right? At this point, we have to assume. You get caught twice. Yeah. And you know what else? As a tangent, did anybody catch that tweet where Aldo was like, yeah, we have the same doctor. I could never think that he would ever use steroids. I'm like, Aldo, hold on a second, sir. Hold on, same doctor? I think that's what I tweeted from the Pride Rules.
So it's like, so you mean that you take steroids?
He sends out that tweet that kind of sounds like he's roided up, and then all of a sudden he's ready to turn around on like 4.5 weeks' notice and fight the guy that just laced him up.
Yeah. That was a lot of
I think Aldo's in trouble.
I hope he is, because if he's not, let me tell you something. We talked about this before. If Aldo somehow pulls this out, Frankie loses his shot.
Yeah, Max,
100%.
Max Aldo 3, 100%.
He is not going to pull this out.
Holloway.
Not at all.
Well, we hope not.
Holloway's going to toss him. Stop it.
I hope so.
Blessed is going to tuck him in for the night. What I want to see
I really hope he does.
Is does Ngannou have a chin at all when Alistair, he will inevitably clip him or pop him with something, and if he doesn't go down, Alistair is going to die in the octagon that night.
Wait, what?
Or maybe in Ngannou versus Alistair. I think Alistair's going to hit him with something, and we'll see if he has a chin. If not, Alistair
I don't even know if
he's
going to get tested. He might just drop him with one hit.
He's going to catch him with that phantom guillotine that he got our boy Stipe in. And he's going to get 3 taps out of just, the fucking pirate guillotine. I don't know, man. I think he's going to get dropped.
I'm excited for this card. I really am excited for this card. I'm glad we're going to have Bobby on later to talk about it some more. I'm excited for the Gaethje fight. Gaethje and Eddie Alvarez, that should be a banger. I don't think anybody's coming out of there unscathed.
Yeah, that's a good bet. I mean, anytime there's a heavyweight matchup, as much as we've seen all these guys fight, there is one exciting one still that we haven't really seen much of, and that's the guy who's fighting. So, we get some more.
Isn't there a big female fight on that card too? I don't have it in front of me right now. Omar, you'd know.
Jesus Christ, really? You don't know?
I forget who it was, but it was.
Yeah, I forget who it was too.
I wouldn't call it big though, because then
look, dude, any fight in the female division is big at this point.
Holly Holm versus Cyborg is the only big fight at this point.
Torres versus Watterson.
Wait a minute. Speaking of big name fights that are going to be on Fight Pass, Angela Magana is getting her 5th at bat at the plate.
Yeah. That's good. That's rich. She's fighting Cooper. Amanda Cooper. I love Amanda Cooper.
Well, I mean, this is going to lead us to the question. if she loses again, does Magana still have a job? With all the hoopla that's around her with what happened?
Still does. She absolutely still
does
because she has proven she's taking dick to stay on the UFC roster.
She's going to retire and get a front office job. She's like a Hall of Famer, bro. What the fuck are you talking about?
She's going to get inducted in 2 weeks. She's going to have a faster induction to retirement time.
Yo, I wonder what the record is for the most straight L's without getting cut. And without a win.
Honestly.
Like,
I don't think it's been more than 3 or 4.
Yo.
Honestly.
That's about.
Can't be.
Yeah, I don't think it's been any more than 3 or 4.
Somewhere Dan Brown
so
is
how
angry.
She already has to have the record.
So 100%. So she's a snitch who can't fight.
She's about to make serious history right now.
But yeah, you guys said the Tisha Torres and Michelle Waterson and Chris's favorite fighter of all time, Henry Cejudo, against Sergio Pettis.
Good God.
Henry Cejudo. He gets the buzzer, I thought.
Oh shit!
He can't get
right.
the butter.
Bang! Fuck that guy.
He can't get the buzzer if he's on the card, guys.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah.
He can't get the buzzer if he's on the card.
You'd be surprised.
Finish him!
Yes, he can.
What the fuck was that?
Somebody just. We have a caller on the line? Who was that?
Nah, man.
The Scorpion, you're on line too.
Thanks, Song.
I know what it was, but I just didn't know. I didn't expect it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no, I was not expecting that at all.
I just took the second one.
Yes. Chris is going green tonight, folks, if you haven't noticed.
He's an Elizabeth Warren supporter? He likes Pocahontas? What? Well, then.
And then I think, as opposed to the fights that are going on Saturday, there's fights on Friday night as well.
The finale.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. The Ultimate Fighter finale, which, the season that nobody watched. And Cub Swanson gets to fight. So everybody caping up for Cub, that's saying that he should have got this title shot if Cub Swanson loses to Brian Ortega on Friday night. Can people just stop saying he deserves a fucking title shot? Can you just stop, please? Will
that then mean that Ortega deserves a title shot?
In these people's eyes, absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely. He should definitely get the any title fight before. Yeah, I'm completely joking. You're fucking.
Well, no. You know
yeah.
what? It's funny that you say that because I guarantee you, if Aldo wins, Frankie's going to have to fight the winner of Cub Swanson, Brian Ortega. Guaranteed. I guarantee it. Just because they don't want to do the third Aldo fight.
Yeah, they're not going to do a third Aldo fight. We've established
Which,
that.
I mean, 100%. I get it. I get it. But it's still not fair, which takes you back to what Congress bitched Mark Ratner out about and made him look like a mumbling, stumbling idiot. You know, maybe that's another thing, Omar. Maybe you should bring that up to Bobby about that whole thing with Congress. See what his thoughts are.
Asking him if he would vote for him for like Senate and or higher elected office, because I would, just based on that one fucking interview. Let's make him head of the NSA. I don't give a shit. Let's do something.
But yeah, it sounds funny, but that's pretty much what the UFC is going to do if Aldo wins. Frankie will get the winner of Ortega and Cub, which would be kind of stupid because then Frankie gets to beat Cub again if Cub somehow pulls out this win. But, Cub won 5 rounds with Artem. I think Brian Ortega's got a good shot.
He speaks Spanish.
12-0.
He's got a good story. I've heard,
What's his story?
Stories. Oh, he's a poor dude who had a fucking rough upbringing, and he made it out. He made it out of the trap. God bless him. Like, if he's marketed correctly, yeah, I think he knows Spanish. It's not like Cain Velasquez.
Marketed correctly? You're talking about the UFC here. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. That's why.
You mean muzzled and buried?
Yeah, exactly. No, they'll just give him a boomerang and put him in front of somebody he hates, and then roll cameras and be surprised at what happens. Fuck out of here. Marketing.
Yeah,
That's what they do for marketing. They do world star hip hop videos. That's what they do for marketing now.
The UFC must have a partnership.
Right. That's what's going to happen.
It should be a good weekend. If all the stars align right. At least you would think, and hope.
My money's on Magana.
I don't know, man.
I'm telling you.
Oh God, I can't.
My money's on Magana.
But the best part is they're promoting her fight.
ABC Nation.
They're promoting her fight. That's the thing that makes me laugh even harder.
They really are.
Right. Yo.
And I couldn't help myself in saying something. I couldn't.
I saw that. That was a powerful screenshot. Way to go.
I couldn't help myself.
Yo, but this
really
this UFC, this tail of the tape picture is not doing her any favors either. You know what I'm saying? She looks like a vampire that needs to suck some blood. You know what I'm saying? Sunken in a little bit, not really good at all. So there's no angles that she's playing here that I understand why she should be getting the push that she's getting, which leads me back to my first deduction, which is, she's earning it the hard way, I guess. I don't know.
Her fight name should be Hoover, is what you're telling me?
Yo, it's 18
That's what her
the
fight
hard
name
way.
should be?
Young Jeezy, right there. That's it.
Angela the Cum Dumpster Magana.
And I was going to say Dyson.
Yeah.
I was trying to be a little classier.
What the fuck, dude?
We can't be using that phrase. All right, for the two women.
It annoys me. It annoys me to no end.
I get it, Tommy. Yo, I'm right behind you. I'm annoyed as fuck, but I'm not using the CD.
Oh man, it doesn't bother me one bit.
In public.
Well, no. Here's why it bothers me. You look at a guy like Eddie, who the UFC didn't bring back. Tom Galecchio, who made it to the finals. The UFC didn't bring him back.
And
they
who's having
him.
a hard time getting good paying fights. Did you see that tweet? I saw that tweet.
Yeah.
Our boy Steven. Happy birthday, Steven,
yes,
by the way.
Happy birthday, Steven.
Right?
Yo, I don't know that Angela Magana is even taking up a real roster spot. It's just right. It's everyone plus we gotta have her, I don't think that's real.
Hey, it's not the point though.
Are they paying her fake money then, Chris? What are you trying to say? She's not taking up a real roster. They're paying her in
that's just
bucks.
Extortion. She's got some serious dirt.
Oh my God! Yeah, she's got photos of somebody in Thailand on a tourism trip. There's something's going on. Is really what it strikes me as, But it's America, I guess.
I mean,
right?
before this stuff with Cyborg, did anybody talk about her? Honestly, before all this stuff with Cyborg.
How about this? We're giving her way too much burn right now.
She gets the buzzer from here on out. I'm making an executive decision. I think you guys will back me, right?
Let's
Unanimous?
stay on that social media bandwagon before Bobby calls in. This weekend, DC decided to stir up a little bit of controversy of his own.
Here we go.
Yeah. Telling the internet world that Khabib approached him saying that the UFC is trying to get the Khabib versus Tony fight for December 30th, completely nixing off Edson Barbosa, who, according to all accounts, that fight was signed, sealed, and delivered already. The UFC's made no statement on it. Nobody saw anything else about it, but DC got lambasted not only by us fans, the media, but by Ariel Helwani. I don't get it. I think it's
Were you about to call him
up for your teammate?
Tommy?
I almost did.
Can I point out how racist that is, by the way? Can we just throw that out?
Bro,
what's he gonna do?
He was about to call him DMC, and I'm like, bro, they don't all look alike. Come on, Kareem, get your boy. What the fuck is he doing?
I don't even know what to do right now. Hands off.
Oh,
but bro, I mean,
He's
come on, let's.
He's got to be disavowed for a bit.
Yo, GMC. I'm like, oh, I heard that. Oh, I heard that.
Yeah, I just look. It's one thing to cape up for your teammate. You know what I mean? I can't say anything against that. But you're a fucking commentator and an analyst. You can't be making up fake news like that. Like, that's some bullshit.
Chris says it best though. With the line, you can't have that. There's no impartiality, right, Chris? Like you said this way back in the day, where it's like with the promotion, more so than
you have no choice.
Yeah,
like,
but then at the same time, Tommy, you're absolutely right. You know, you can't be a commentator.
I agree with both. Like, if you're going to sit there and pick a fight, you could pick your teammate every time, and I have no problem with that. But if it's like creating a fake story to possibly generate buzz, to be like, oh, look, into the fuck another fighter, I think that's kind of a shitty move. You know, like, that's almost like what it looked like he was trying to do. Just like, oh, if people were more excited for that fight, maybe the UFC would just book that. No, I mean, it really doesn't make sense.
No, I'm sorry, but real fans are not excited to hear a fight between Khabib and Tony because we've been teased with that before.
Yeah, I'm not. I want to see Khabib. I want to see Khabib get knocked the fuck out with like a wheel kick. That's what I want to see.
And here's another one of my reasons, which is one of the things I kept bringing up on Twitter, which was getting liked and retweeted. If you defend the interim belt before the actual fucking belt, there is a goddamn problem. There is an extreme problem when you have a healthy champ.
Bring Conor hate into this, Chris, and bravo.
How is it hate? It's common fucking sense.
Bravo.
It's common sense. The champ is not hurt.
I think that we could agree that the belts are really, like, kind of don't matter.
With this division, they matter because of who the champ is. What the fuck was that? Is there a Wookiee on the other end of the line?
Is somebody getting head? Well done. Yo, is everyone getting double tappy right now?
I don't know. Do you just have a seizure on air?
Yo, he's getting mad, Brandon.
What the fuck?
Yo. Oh, wait, yo. Somebody's 3 digits into Kareem's butthole right now. Okay, Kareem. I gotta let you go, brother. Take it easy.
Bro, that was a Howard Stern morning show moment when the dude that's all medicated passed out on the phone.
Oh my god. Is he sleeping right now? This motherfucker's I can't. Yo, let's wake him up. Hold on. Get up, Kareem. Wake up.
All right, Omar, I think we got to cut the call.
I can't.
Oh my god.
I can't.
Oh god.
What?
Wow.
That just happened, guys. Oh my god.
All right, so let's try and pull this back on the track.
That's the funniest thing that I've ever heard.
Yo, he was legit.
He straight passed out.
Yeah, yo. He works hard, guys. You know what? I feel bad. I slightly feel bad making fun of him. But then again, I
can't even talk.
He was like the guy that was all doped out on the bus with Joey Diaz with that string of fucking saliva hanging down to the newspaper.
Did he just come off of no dose and it just like he died? Like, you know?
What the fuck?
The Mountain Dew left.
Oh my god! So,
yo, the buzzer didn't even hit him hard.
Oh god, I love live radio. So,
bro,
anyway.
We're not letting him live this down. Oh, we're gonna be merciful. I'm gonna post that on.
To jump back on track before Bobby calls in, to go back to your point, Chris, when you said that belts like kind of don't matter. In this division, they matter because of who the champ is. That's why it matters.
Nah.
I feel like that's why it doesn't.
Yeah, but it should. It should matter.
Because it doesn't matter who has the belt. As soon as Conor fights, he's fighting for the belt. Whether he's defending it or fighting for it, it doesn't matter. It's a title fight.
Yeah, but not for an interim belt, dude. Not for an interim belt. I mean, you can't defend the interim belt before you defend the real one. You can't do it.
I can't defend Conor not fighting. I can't. I'm not even going to sit here and try to. But there's other factors. I think that the negotiations are definitely a little more complex than anyone's ever had to deal with. So
well, he kind of didn't help his case with the Bellator thing. So I don't think it says.
Matters. I mean, like, let's be honest. When Conor fights, Bellator thing or not, like nobody's like, oh, I'm not going to watch him fight because he did that at Bellator. No, that's not the case. Everyone's going to buy that. Simple fact. Especially if he hasn't fought in a long time.
Well, he hasn't fought in a long time.
Yeah, that's my point.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have returning to the Pride Rules podcast, referee Bobby Wombacher, who you will be seeing this Saturday night at UFC 218. What's up, Bobby?
Not a lot. What's going on, fellas?
Oh, nothing, man. We're just happy to be talking to you. How was your holiday? Happy belated Thanksgiving.
Appreciate it. It was good. Just like everybody else, probably consumed a little too much food. But,
I'm sure you'll work that all off on Saturday.
I'll be ready come Saturday. Promise that.
So now, are you doing Friday and Saturday, or is it just Saturday?
It's just Saturday. Friday's in Vegas, so.
Oh, Fridays. Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, Fridays are in Vegas.
Oh, okay. So last time we talked to you, before we started talking about 218, you were doing the fundraiser for your friend. How did that go?
Well, he actually passed away, so it.
Oh, Jesus.
We put it on. Yeah, we put it on hold, but we're looking to do it May or June. I'm working with his family. We're still going to do it. Obviously, his family amassed an enormous amount of medical bills and things like that. So we're still going to do something for the family and raise some money and help them out, and all for a good cause. So that's just been postponed a little bit due to the circumstances, but it will certainly still happen.
Oh, well, we're sorry to hear about the passing of your friend, and when you do get that, please remember to send us the link so we can send that out.
Absolutely, we'll do.
So, big night, Saturday night. You pumped?
I am. I fly in Friday, and it's going to be the card from top to bottom is stacked. And I talked to a lot of people, and the 5 fights that are on the main card could be a main event on any Fox fight night or anything else, and the top 3 can main event any pay-per-view. So it's going to be one heck of a card.
Do you know which matches you're going to be refereeing yet, or do they tell you that when you're there?
They'll give us that on Saturday when we arrive at the arena.
Okay. Who else are you going to be working with? Do you know?
I'm not completely sure. I don't know. They didn't tell me, so I have an idea that probably Herb will be there. I believe he will. I don't know the others. Usually. That part of the country, you probably get Dan Mergliotta as a good shot at it. So it'll be some good referees and good officials for the fight. So,
are there any fights you're looking forward to seeing or reffing?
Yeah, I mean, all of them, like I said, are going to be phenomenal. So, just being there is going to be awesome. But being a part of, when I first was told about it, the only big fight that they had already named was the Gaethje Alvarez fight, and I thought that was going to be the main event. Heck, that's not even the main event or the co-main event. So, I mean, I'm excited for all of them, regardless.
Yeah, I was kind of worried about that card when when Frankie had to pull out. I wasn't sure how much juice they were going to put behind it, but like you said, looking at the looking at this lineup, it's definitely going to be a good night of fights for sure.
Yeah, and I think they did I think Aldo coming in to replace Edgar is I think that's going to make a good fight. I think it's going to be good. So I guess we'll wait and see in 5 days, right?
Who do you got in that fight? Come on.
Now you
okay.
I can't say anything about that.
Jesus. Always, man.
I took a shot.
Tommy's always trying to stir the pot.
You
never know. You catch somebody off guard.
Bobby's a
and they just
professional.
spit it out, and then they're like, "Oh, crap."
Bobby's a pro, though. Bobby knows you by now. It's like, listen, he's going to ask me everything that I can't answer. Forget this guy. I'll go on.
Bobby, I actually have a question. I've been waiting to ask you this since it happened. What are your thoughts on the whole Conor McGregor incident? Sure, you.
Absolutely. I think the referee Mark Goddard handled it perfectly. And the thing that people don't understand is, whenever the chaos began, Mark still didn't know if the fight was over or if the round had ended. When it gets really loud, and especially when you're in a hometown crowd like that, sometimes you don't. It's so simultaneous that you're not hearing the bell, and so you step in because it's the end of the round or the fight, and you got to go and validate. Did the horn sound before I stepped in, and and that's kind of the process he was going through, and then you get someone jumping into the cage and pushing you and getting back in your face. I thought he handled it perfectly. I would say if Tommy was sitting in the third row and he jumped in the cage, he probably would have been in jail or something.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
So I don't know. Everybody's saying, well, will they suspend him or whatever? He didn't have a license that I know of. I mean, he wasn't a cornerman. He wasn't licensed for the event, so I don't know how you suspend somebody's license that doesn't exist. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's a fake. It's really like a fake punishment.
So that's what they'll end up doing.
Yeah.
It won't even matter.
Not that you were thinking of refereeing, but you can't ref.
We had the whole theory that maybe it was set up, but that's hard to even make sense of as well, because that's not fair to the ref. That even makes it worse, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it was set up, and I mean, because putting your hands on an official is not a good move. And Mark is a highly trained MMA guy, so I mean, I don't think it would have ended well had Mark lost his cool. I mean, he's a black belt, I believe, in jiu-jitsu, and he's fought before, and he's 240 pounds maybe or so. I don't know, but I mean, I'm pretty sure he can handle his own.
Yeah. Never thought of it.
Well, now, if let's say this was in the States and that it happened, couldn't they, whatever state it was in, couldn't they pull his license from fighting in that state? Like, let's say it happened in California. Couldn't they pull Conor's license for that?
Absolutely. And what the actual in the States they do, because they're kind of under the ABC type of umbrella type of thing, that if California says, hey, we're suspending you for 6 months, there is no other state in the United States that's going to let that fighter fight during that suspension. Yeah. So it's not just, well, in California you're not fighting. It's no, you're not fighting anywhere in the United States type of thing. So, yeah.
Maybe that, Chris, maybe that's why he did it there, because he knew that there would be no real ramifications about it.
I've gotten a couple of messages. I don't know accuracy or anything. Something about a nightclub fight or something.
Yeah, I heard something about that too. But that site is very, very known to be a lot of BS. So I wouldn't even bring it up. I was going to bring it up earlier, but then I was like, you know what? That site has made me look stupid before. So I'm not going to.
What was it? BJPenn.com?
No, it's worse. It's like MMA Imports or whatever.
Oh, that one's even worse. You're right. You are right.
Yeah, it's like where Faber, Yoel Romero, all their Facebook accounts are attached to it, and they all post the same. Jake Shields, they all post the same thing, and it's usually like a CBS story.
Yeah, so
check it out.
Who knows?
Yeah, no, that's definitely something, we definitely wanted to bring up to you because I was going to ask you if there was anything, different that you would have done that Mark did, honestly.
There's not. I've told numerous people I thought Mark handled it perfectly, and I mean he was so calm with it and meticulous about doing, his process to figure out where he was at in the fight. I mean that you got a very emotional, high energy situation, and then you get somebody in there in your face yelling and pushing you and things like that. For him to keep his cool like he did, I think speaks wonders for his character and his his integrity for sure.
Oh man, yeah, it's never good when you see that, because I remember they made a huge deal over Junie Browning doing it in The Ultimate Fighter, and that's not even. They're not really like technically licensed, right? Like those fights, they're not.
No,
doesn't go anything by the commission or anything.
Fights. They're not pro fights, but they're definitely sanctioned.
Yeah, they would definitely be licensed. So.
Yeah, but they're just not pro. They don't count against their pro record. I don't know what.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like it's not a commissioned.
They're exhibition fights, technically, aren't they?
Yeah,
well,
exhibitions.
It is by the commission. The problem that it wasn't counting is because it wasn't live. So
gotcha.
That's why.
That's interesting. I never
tape
thought
delayed.
of that. So they can't.
But absolutely, the commission's there, and the commission runs it, and
because they're weighing them in and everything for the fight. The commission's definitely there.
Correct.
Yeah. Now back to the whole Conor thing. That the one thing that I wanted to ask you about as well was when he originally jumped on the cage, he was pushed off, and I think that kind of like set him off. That's when he smacked the commissioner. It was crazy. Like something else went down before he even jumped in the cage. And he was wrong either way for jumping on the cage, but the commissioner did grab him and try and push him off. Like, I think that's what kind of set Conor off. I don't want to make it sound like I'm making an excuse if he was 100% in the wrong, but
I think that whole thing just snowballed, and it was just one thing after another. And I think as people look back, they probably would agree that it could have been handled differently. However, once he entered the cage, I thought the referee did a good job. And the part that as an official and as that would have me concerned is you got a fighter that you're tending to for his safety, and I mean he's still down, and you've got a commotion and chaos coming at you, and around that. I mean that my obligation is to the fighters, the two that were in there, making sure they're safe. So.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that was the main problem that I had with it too, was the fact that it was all around a guy that was kind of stumbling around at the time. Like could have gotten bad.
Now, I did also hear that the fighter that it was from Conor's gym that had knocked the guy down is also the same guy who fighter actually died in the cage with a fight or two before that. And so. That adds another twist to the emotional charge and all that other stuff that was going on. So
I felt bad for the guy that got knocked out, because in that whole scrum, they knocked him over as he was on his knees, like against the cage.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I mean, as far as an official, our duty is for the safety of the fighter, and now that's compromised because you got something else going on and you got people jumping around them, and I mean, yeah, we got to make sure this fighter's okay and that that he's come to and all that good stuff. So, yeah, there was a lot of chaos, that's for sure.
Yeah, you never want to see that. I mean, it kind of puts like I said, puts a black eye on the UFC. Like, look what your big top money maker's doing, on another promotion, making a fool of himself, and I don't know, it just doesn't look right.
Yeah. So are you guys coming to Detroit? That's what I heard.
Coming to Detroit?
That's what I heard. Last time we talked.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I got a shotgun. Tom, are you driving?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all we got to do is
load everybody up in my
tape.
work truck. I wish I could have been there, but I'm working out of state. The only one out of all of us who could for sure be there is Omar, probably.
What, Detroit? I mean,
yeah.
I might have papers in Detroit, but I'll check.
There it is.
If I can.
All right.
I'm there. If the man ain't looking for me, I'll be okay. But
I mean, if you could have got us VIP backstage passes, I think we all could have been like, yeah, we'll
go. Look at this guy. Jesus Christ. You're doing us a favor getting on the damn show. And look at him. Look at him.
We didn't say we didn't get that. You said you were coming. I was just validating you were definitely going to be there. Now you're saying you're not.
Shit.
So I guess it doesn't matter at this point.
Are you kidding me? I'm getting a black suit with a white shirt and some dark sunglasses and heading out to Detroit with my boys Tommy and Chris if we got super VIP passes.
Yo, Tommy, I got a shotgun, bro.
I'll ride in the back. I don't give a shit. I get to lie down then. Fuck it.
No, Omar's doing the driving.
Get out of here.
Well,
No. I drive lawnmowers, guys. I don't drive actual cars. All right? Or not minivans.
Omar's the youngest one. Omar's the youngest one of the three of us, so he gets to drive.
Yeah, okay. By what, like 10 minutes? Fuck out of here, Tommy. Get out of town. Jesus.
Doesn't matter how you reach the pot of gold as long as you beat the leprechaun, youngin. That's Connor's life philosophy. I feel like he's written a book about that. Not a bestseller like our boy Eddie, but you said it, not me, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I had to bring it up, but I wanted to ask Bobby. Something came up, and I kind of have a lead in here. I'm not trying to set you up here, Mr. Wombacher, like our boy Tommy. But is there any place like internationally that you would be just outright opposed to reffing? Like because of how they run stuff or stuff that you can't tell us about, and you're like, but I'm not gonna go there. Any place that you'd be like, nah, I'll pass. Aside from like North Korea, obviously. But
and the reason being is each one would have its own commission or sanctioning body type of thing, and before you agree to do an event, you obviously would find out what the commission is or who's sanctioning it, and the rules that they'd be using and everything, and that's pretty standard to get up front. But there's nowhere that I wouldn't go. I'm pretty confident in the sanctioning bodies.
Oh yeah, because now the lead in there was we've been talking about this Bisping business, about the quick turnaround, and
sure.
We're kind of split on should he have been even allowed to get in there. With the short time. I've heard some things on Twitter, allegedly. I want to put that out there because I don't want to get you in trouble with the UFC or whatnot. But allegedly, there was a longer suspension that was shortened to a much shorter time to allow for the turnaround. There was some gray area in that regard. But like, what are your thoughts there? Do you think he should have been in there, or do you think it was too quick? I mean, what are you thinking about the Bisping situation?
Sure. My thing's all about fighter safety, and I know that when Silva got pulled or whatever, and I guess Mike had said that he was interested in that fight or whatever, I think that they did all the testing that they could to decide whether he could or not. I firmly believe that the UFC nor any large promotion would put their name or their financial status at risk by putting someone in there that wasn't qualified to be in there at that point. And that would go back to just like them pulling Mark Hunt off that. I mean, he was the main event guy, and they pulled him off for safety reasons. So in my opinion, I think I'm not the UFC and I'm not their department, and I'm not I don't speak for them or anything, but I believe from everything I know about the sport and how they conduct, what they do, I don't think they would have put him in there had any tests come back that would have even been slightly to the oh no's type of thing. So,
Gotcha.
and I don't know what tests they did, and I don't know any of that, but I know that they probably covered all their bases and dotted all their I's and crossed all their T's and made sure that it was an okay fit. So.
Sweet deal. Thank you.
You
Put
brought
that to
up
bed
the
finally for us. Yeah.
Yeah. You brought up the Mark Hunt situation. Do you think the UFC was 100% right in what they did?
I don't know from their point. All I can say is fighter safety is a big thing, and I don't know what transpired between both parties. I just thought it was a very bold move to pull your main event fighter out. So there had to, in my opinion, there would have to be some substantial, things on their part to make that bold of a move. It wasn't like it was the opening fight on the Fight Pass. I mean, that was your main event, your draw. So there had to be a significant reason, and and I don't get into all the back and forth that they do and all that other stuff. I just look at it, and I don't think they would have pulled a main event fight if there wasn't a reason to pull the main event fight. So.
Yeah,
I love that answer.
I agree in a sense. Like, sometimes these guys are very into the whole, it was a setup, they did it on purpose, or with a lot of things. At least Omar is. Tommy might not be with this situation, but I expect it to be the way it's supposed to be. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt in that regard. Like, I couldn't imagine the UFC being that spiteful, is what I'm trying to say, and being like, we're gonna pull you because you have a lawsuit against us. They wouldn't even have signed him to the fight.
Well, and I think if you looked at the financial impact of pulling him, I mean, he's a huge crowd favorite, and especially over there. I mean, you go. I mean, I don't know how many people didn't go, or whatever, didn't even order the fight or watch the fight because he wasn't on it. So from a business sense, it wouldn't make sense, regardless of what's going on the outside. I mean, they booked him for the fight. In my mind, I don't think that, it wouldn't make sense to pull your big draw, especially in that venue, to be spiteful or anything. I mean, I guess it could happen, but I don't see that happening. I mean, if we were talking a local show or a regional show, I could say, yeah, that probably could happen, but not when you're talking millions of dollars. So.
Yeah.
Especially after they paid him $1 million for his last fight before that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's probably the most. Well, I don't know. He probably made close to that in Pride, but that's a nice chunk of money from the UFC standpoint. I wouldn't mind getting that for one night's worth of work, even if I was to get knocked out. Pay me $1 million. I'll get knocked out for $1 million. I'd be there with bells on. I'd want Bobby to be the ref, though, just to make sure that when I go down, he stops it.
No birds.
Right. If you go down, I'll jump in there, and you'll take no unnecessary shots.
There you go.
Exactly. See,
that's
love it.
That's what.
If it's against me, he wouldn't need to take any unnecessary shots. It would just be the one hitter.
Oh,
yes.
Man. Walk off.
Oh, Christ. Jesus. See?
And I'll be looking at my
Bobby.
$1 million check all the way to the bank with one eye.
Yeah. Hey, Fetty Wap,
Listen,
make it
fellas,
work.
I know there's some promoters listening, and I mean, we could probably get this lined up pretty well. I don't know about for that paycheck you're talking, but
I have no.
Any promoters out there looking for an out-of-shape 34-year-old man with some jiu-jitsu experience, willing to pay me $1 million to get knocked out? I'm there.
There's a Japanese game show.
Tomorrow.
Exactly. That has your name on it, Tommy. I think. I really feel Bob Sapp can make a career out there. You can. Let's make it happen. Fighting for Shudo or Ryzen. I could totally see that. Oh, Christ. Oh, my God.
So, Bobby, after the event this weekend, you got anything else lined up future?
I've got a few local things. I've kind of taken a little time off. Been kind of busy with it. So I generally book my stuff 45 to 90 days out, so I'm starting to look into filling up February, March area. But I do have a couple of things lined up in April already. So, we'll crank it back up after the holidays.
So how this is what I want to know. How do you get picked, like, for the UFC event? Is it just because you've worked with them before and they remember you, or is it just, does it go by commission? I don't understand how it works.
Sure, it goes by the commissions. The way it works, I guess, at the bigger shows, that they'll recommend people that they're comfortable with working with. But that recommendation is simply a recommendation. I mean, it is 100% completely up to Athletic Commission on who they select, as far as judges or referees. And that's good, because you don't necessarily want the promoter or promotion picking their judges and referees, because then you get everybody saying, well, he was biased or he was handpicked for that. Keep it separate, and the commissions do all the signing, and so I think that's the best way to do it as well.
Still working on getting out here to Jersey?
I am. I would love to ref out in Jersey. I've been in 27 states, and Jersey's not one of them. So anything you guys can do to help me, I would be on board.
You see, now that's something that we would almost guaranteed to be there for.
Right. Just like back in September or whatever, when you said, "Oh yeah, we'll be in Detroit."
Well,
Jersey's a little easy.
Wow.
Jersey's where Chris and I live. For Omar, it's a couple-hour drive and a hotel stay, but that's not so bad.
Right.
Traveling from Detroit from Virginia, that might be. I don't think my company's going to allow me to do that with the work vehicle.
They got Greyhounds.
Oh, got him. Oh, shit.
He's just getting me on a. I can't win tonight. I can't win.
I love how he said it's going to be a couple-hour drive and a hotel stay, and I just mapped it. It's 10 hours, you fuck. Jesus Christ.
Well,
right?
I mean, that is a couple hours.
I'm talking about Jersey, Omar. If you're traveling 10 hours from where you live in New York to New Jersey, you got a problem.
No, I thought you meant from here
Omar,
to
you're
Detroit.
10 hours from Detroit only?
Yeah, that's it.
That's not bad.
Hey, where are you at in New York?
Oh, about an hour and a half north of the city. More towards
city?
Pleasant Valley near Poughkeepsie, New York.
Yep, I lived in New Paltz and Poughkeepsie both.
Oh, holy shit! Hey, tell him right now. We have indoor plumbing, right, Bobby?
We do.
God damn
we
it.
do.
See,
I mean,
well, Omar just got indoor plumbing. Maybe where you were, they had it, but Omar just got it.
Don't make it racial, all right? Don't bring it up just because Bobby is not Hispanic. It's messed up. It's totally.
I didn't know
totally
you were originally. Now, are you originally from the East Coast, Bobby?
No, I'm from Illinois, and I lived in New York for a year and a half, 2 years. I worked up in Binghamton, so that's a little drive.
Hey, wow, yeah. So you commuted from around here to Binghamton?
Yeah, about 3 hours each way.
Sweet Christ. God bless you.
Wow.
Yo.
So
there's no easy way to
where
get
in
there.
Illinois are you from?
A little town called Taylorville. It's just south of southeast of Springfield and southwest of Decatur. So.
Oh yeah, I was in Manteno, Illinois, for a week for work.
Okay. Well, just
I didn't know.
Whenever I get the date for that fundraiser, I'm going to send it to you guys, and you guys will be there. I know it in my heart. You guys will be there, and it'll be in Taylorville, Illinois. So, map requested or whatever. Just so you know, Omar, it's about 14 and a half hours for you.
Worth it. It's worth it for the charity. That, you know what?
Absolutely.
We'll rent something. I'll even spring
Omar,
for the upgrade.
I got a shotgun, bro. You got to come pick me up. So it's like 2 extra hours.
Yeah, you got to
south,
come pick us both up.
It's like extra. You could add like 6 hours to that trip.
You can't even make it 1 hour up. Meet me halfway. You fuck. Like, come on. Like, I'll get you on the throughway, but you gotta meet me. Like just 1 hour. Come on. You guys are terrible. Like, no, we're at a Starbucks on the Garden State. You got to find which one. Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah.
Well,
my girl's like,
I do not miss all the tollways and all that out in Jersey and New York, though. I do not miss those.
We don't like paying for our own roads, Bobby. You got to remember that. We don't like paying for our own roads. So we make other people pay.
I absolutely love paying and then stopping in the middle, in the median, to get food and then get back on so you can pay some more. I love it.
Oh, it's the best, isn't it? It's like, hey, you got to pee? That'll cost you. You could hold
That's
it.
That's right.
It'll cost you money.
That's why I'm glad I'm in a work vehicle when I travel. It's their easy pass.
Compete in the work vehiel? Hold on, where does this go, Tom?
Yeah.
What are you doing in that day?
Yeah, that too.
Oh my God.
Well, let's put it this way: on my just one way to Virginia from Jersey, it's probably almost $20 in tolls.
That's cheap. That's cheap.
Well, yeah, because it costs $35 to get into New York and another $35 to get into Jersey.
That's what I'm saying. It's like $14 one way to get on any bridge at work. I worked out in the city. It's terrible. And for the first time when they changed, I hadn't worked there in a while, and the first time that they changed it, I'm like, did they miraculously make this thing free? No, they just bang you on the way back twice. You know, they hit you double on the one way.
That's the one thing I do miss. I do miss about living out west was no tolls. There's no tolls.
Right.
You just drive.
And the highways are
and the highways are fine. You know what I mean? They're well kept, especially in Arizona. They're well kept. Everything looks nice and pretty. The taxes are cheap. So I just wonder, why is it so nice there and crap where Chris and I live, and they rape you for every dime that they possibly can.
It's the nickel and dime
you're
you for
making a case to come back west.
That's really what it sounds like.
If my wife would do it, I would. I would be back in Arizona in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. 115 degree summers don't bother me. The heat doesn't bother me.
Right. What part of Arizona?
No snow is where I want to be. I'm tired of snow. But you're in Utah, right, Bobby?
Correct. I went to Arizona State, though. So.
Oh, you did go to ASU?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't live far from there. I was right in Queen Creek.
Where at?
I was about Queen Creek. Yeah, I was about 20 minutes from ASU.
Yeah, old Queen Creek.
Yeah, it was kind of desolate when I moved out there, but they were starting to build it up. I'm sure now it's probably built up to no end.
Can only imagine. That loop, was it 202 or whatever it was just being built now that, heck, it just all connects. And you're like, it's house after house, and it used to be wide open.
Well, it was funny when I was living out there, they were filming that movie Kingdom with Jamie Foxx.
Uh-huh.
And, because that movie was supposed to be set in Iraq or Afghanistan. Well, they filmed it in Arizona. And they started changing the highway signs to Arabic writing, and people were panicking because they didn't know that they were filming a movie out there.
Shit. They just thought somebody was taking over? Oh, no.
It was all over the news. It was hysterical.
That's scary, though. I would freak out if I walked outside, and on the way to work, I'm like, what's this Arabic writing? Why am I going in kilometers? Hold on. What the fuck is happening right now? I'm either going really fast or it's kilometers an hour. What happened to my car? I want answers. It's just nuts. Yo.
Now, have you ever done any fights out there, Bobby?
Where?
In Arizona?
Yep. I did Rage in the Cage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've done a lot of shows that I used to, and I did them, and Yeah, I actually did. I think it was Joe Gigliotta or whatever. He eventually went into the UFC, but I did his fight there when he was just starting out. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of good MMA out there. I mean, you have obviously Arizona Combat Sports and stuff like that out there. There's a lot of good MMA. It wasn't really big when I was living out there. When I was living out there, they were still doing those 3-round tough man competitions at the little casinos out there.
Okay.
That was back in 2005. Have you ever reffed any of those?
Oh no, nope. I've only I've done kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, and obviously MMA. That's it.
Jiu-jitsu, what, like a Naga event kind of thing?
It was. They did some grappling jiu-jitsu as part of a MMA card. It was just like they did MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai, and then the jiu-jitsu matches. So. It was all part of the same card type of thing.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. That sounds like a great time.
Yeah. That's like what Dream used to do on their New Year's Eve card, where it was like kickboxing, MMA, and pro wrestling kind of deal.
Yeah.
Pro wrestling.
Dude, pro wrestling is huge in Japan. It's bigger than MMA there. So yeah, what was it? Josh Barnett had a pro wrestling match on that Dream New Year's Eve card that one year.
Did he win?
Yes, actually he did.
Of course he did.
He did.
Josh fucking Barnett, come on.
Yeah, the babyface assassin always wins. So, Bobby, listen, before we let you go, this is, as always, the floor is yours here. Shout out all your social media, everything that you have planned for everybody that's listening. And, the floor is yours, brother.
All right. You can follow me at my Facebook page, MMA Referee Bobby Wombacher. You can get me on Instagram at referee_Bobby_Wombacher. On my Facebook page, I just said you'll see some of the charities and things that I support, like Fighting for Autism, the Boys and Girls Club, the Lane Logan Memorial, which we provide service dogs for soldiers that come back with PTSD, and then obviously the fundraiser that I will be doing in May or June in Illinois will be on there as well. So. Yeah, if you have any questions, shoot me messages. I answer everybody who sends me one regardless. So.
All right, man. Well, listen, thank you again for coming on tonight. We've been waiting to have this podcast to talk to you about this 218 card that's coming up. We're definitely going to be excited to seeing you on there this weekend. And, we just wish you the best of luck with everything and hope everything goes well for you that night, bro.
Well, I appreciate it, and if you guys change your mind and end up in Detroit, send me a message and we'll get together.
Absolutely, Bobby.
Thanks, Bobby.
Absolutely.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Bobby.
Have a great evening.
You
too, Bobby. Chris, good
fun,
call.
Man.
Good call with the Connor question. It's great to actually have a referee on here that can explain that entire situation and everything like that. So good call with that, dude.
Yeah, it just gives you extra perspective that you don't get to really take on until you're in that position, and he's been in that position. It's always fun, man, when he comes on because there's a lot of things, and you almost want to start taking notes. Like, all right, when Bobby comes on, we're going to ask him about this because a lot of things happen.
I do look at the refs in a completely different light from when we had him on the first time. To be completely honest with you, it's hard.
I love that.
I'm not as
would give our boy some trouble. That's the biggest thing that stuck out to me. I never really thought of it. And Chris, I don't know if Chris was being serious or not. He kind of said it like, wow. Never thought of it that way, just because it's Conor McGregor.
I never thought of it that way, and now that I've thought of it that way, I just, you know what I think.
I know.
But, you know,
I know.
everybody's entitled to their opinion there.
Oh,
you know, is the
man.
fight we're talking about? Ooh,
I guess it's a weight thing that kind of brings it, you know what I mean? That kind of that gives you the skeptical hippo eyes. You know what I mean? Like,
good reference.
But
Goddard is a big dude. He's not small. He's a big dude.
I mean, he's probably going to get laced with like a 3 or 4 piece right off the bat because Conor's going to be quick to throw. You know, like that, and he's accurate, fast. So he's going to have to take
with as much coke as he might have been on that night. But with as much
coke
as he might have been on that night,
he was coked to the tits.
You know, he might have walked
night.
through anything.
Can we be serious? Can we take that to a second?
Conor is an animal. I mean,
my man.
There's no denying that. If he beat this guy up in the club, which I don't think happened. Bobby did bring that up, but I can't put any stock into that story just yet. But if
now,
that's true, it's not good.
But wait, were they saying it was a club in Ireland?
Yeah.
There's no way that that's true because everybody loves him there.
No, you know what I heard?
There's no
I heard
way
they
that's
got
true.
into a fist fight with Lee Murray and Tito Ortiz outside of that club, and then shit just went crazy. And I think Lee Murray knocked them both out. He's out of jail. That's what I think.
There's no way that that's true. If they said that it happened like somewhere in the States, all right, I'll buy it. You know, I'll bite on that. But
I just
Ireland,
think that if it did happen, it wouldn't be like it. Maybe this happened. It's only on like this one website. It would be all over. Just Conor McGregor.
TMZ would have had that shit faster than shit through a goose.
It would have been like boom. There's no way MMA Imports or whatever the fuck that stupid ass website is. I don't even know what it's called.
No, it is MMA Imports. The minute you said it, I'm like, oh, that thing. Where, you know, your browser gets AIDS the second it walks on because there's enough spyware there to fucking give Putin some food for thought. All right, Jesus Christ. I'm like, yo.
I wonder who puts that spyware there.
Stop. Get the fuck out of here. Yo, I just like to browse in anonymity. All right, to my right is a goddamn American until net neutrality is fucked in the ass. But that's a different time and a different topic for a different show. However,
you're not American.
Jesus Christ. Get out of here, guy. What? You guys, I was going to drive us to Detroit, but now you both can go fuck yourself. That's good.
I didn't say anything. Fuck that.
I didn't even do anything.
I didn't say a fucking word.
I thought both of you said I'm not an American. I'm like, Jesus. You know I can't hear right, guys.
No.
You know.
I wish we could have, you know, went out there. I really do. I really wish we could have went out there.
I'm not feeling going to a third world country again, guys. I'm good on that. Sorry.
Yeah, I've flown into Detroit and was uncomfortable.
No, I flew into Detroit, and the only time I appreciated my time in Detroit, you know when that was? When I flew back from China and North Korea when I was a kid. I was like, yo, I love Detroit. I was all about Detroit.
How about this? Fuck the Lions and fuck the Tigers.
Oh, my God. Well, yeah, fuck the Tigers all day. I agree there. I don't really give a shit too much about the Lions, but the Tigers and the Bears too. Bears can go eat my ass. But,
well, I hope they're not serving tap water at the arena.
Oh my God.
That's for sure.
Oh, Flint, Michigan! You made a Flint, Michigan joke.
Goodness gracious!
Oh my God!
I hope they're not cooking those dirty water dogs in
dirty
tap
water. In Flint and yellow electrolyte water. It looks like Gatorade.
Yo, is it after 10:30 yet? Because we're.
Yo, we're deeply approaching. That is the murky waters of the underworld. Making a fucking.
You said murky waters talking about Detroit.
Yeah. You figured out. You figured out what I did there, guys. I like it.
So, back what we were talking about before Bobby got on with the, the Khabib, Tony.
Hold that thought, guys.
Oh, we got a caller. Caller, you're on.
Who's coming in?
Aloha, fellas. How you doing?
Oh, shit.
Hey,
Mike.
Holy shit.
Mike.
Nice.
Straight from the...
He was calling now before the Max fight. Good for him.
Yes.
course. I got off track because kids soccer practice. I missed the show for a couple weeks and whatnot, and then I was just listening all calm. And they play my son and daughter. Yeah, soccer. My kids are small, man. I'm not a big guy. He'll be wrestling once.
He's like, I want them to be safe and know their letters when they're older.
I don't want my kids drooling on themselves by the time they're freaking 23.
Yeah, thanks, Tommy.
But I was just listening to the show. It's just like Tommy. I don't want my kids like Tommy. So, miss you, Tommy.
Yeah, I miss you, Mike.
You, man.
Yeah, I was listening to you guys, and I was doing all right, just hanging out, listening to the show until you guys started talking shit about Detroit.
Yes.
Can't talk shit about Detroit.
The Michigan
fan
over here.
I agree. Fuck the Lions. I'm still mad about Barry Sanders retiring early. I won't even rent a Ford. But you can't talk about Detroit.
He won't rent a Ford.
Isn't Mike a Michigan fan?
That's serious.
Is that where we're going with this?
My mom's from Detroit. So it was a rough week, man. I watched them play LSU out here in Maui and lose a game they should have won, and then obviously Saturday wasn't great. So it's been a rough decade for the Michigan fans.
It's been a rough decade for the city. Period, though. Holy shit.
That's what happens when you drink the water. You don't perform right.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
How he keeps on digging, bro.
Look at him walk back. This motherfucker. Yeah, it's
actually a beautiful city. Beautiful city.
Yeah.
Just calling in to you, checking in to see how you guys are doing. I didn't want to off track you guys from the getting into Khabib because I tried to get you when you were talking about Detroit, but just checking in.
No, well, what's your thought on the? Did you see what was going on this weekend with DC?
With who? Who?
Daniel Cormier.
No, what did he do?
He went on Twitter and Instagram and said that Khabib had approached him saying that the UFC was trying to offer him the Tony Ferguson fight instead of the already signed Edson Barbosa fight because they said it will draw more money. Now, it's never been confirmed. The UFC's never commented on it. It only came from DC himself.
I mean, was DC talking as DC the fighter, or was he talking as DC the journalist? Because if he's talking
DC
as
the
DC
teammate.
the journalist, the guy... Oh, then
DC the teammate.
I don't see any reason why he would lie. I mean, he's obviously trying to build his reputation for after he steps out of fighting. He has a career with Fox or whatever he comments on, so he really is in a position to get out of pocket with facts, you know. So I would say if he said it, it's probably relatively accurate, and by the sound of it,
then he's fucking dumb.
Yeah, he's stupid. Like, why would you risk your after? You know, why would you tiki barber yourself, basically?
Good reference.
Think of it that way.
Well said.
Why?
Now, I'm going to ask you this, Mac.
If you're him, why would you be?
Up. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, why would you lie about that?
With the Max fight coming up, don't you think that Edgar's lucky that he got injured?
Chris,
who's that?
What?
I'm just fucking with Tommy.
Oh my god!
No, I was super torn on that one, man. It was an ill triangle for me. It was the guy from where I live now, versus the guy from where I've always loved him, Frankie, and then fighting in Detroit of like the worst possible place to fight. Why would you fight there? Why would anybody fight there? I don't get it. They don't give him weapons. If they're gonna only thing I want to see in Detroit is a street fight. Like other than that, like it's really not interesting.
Escape from Detroit? You want to see fucking Kurt Russell wrestling? Like
he called in caping up for Detroit, and then he's like, "Yo, fuck that, fuck."
Why would you fight Detroit? Give him sticks and bats.
No, I'm more salty on the fact that Frankie, the guy never gets. The guy's fought in fucking Asia more than he's fought in Jersey, which is ridiculous to me. So
they don't do many fights in Jersey, man. It's horrible.
He don't get to fight in Jersey.
It's horrible.
He fought in Jersey once. He fought the first pay-per-view in Jersey, the first fight of The Rock. He fought there, and he hasn't fought in Jersey since. He's fought in Asia more often than he's fought in Jersey, which is crazy to me. But now I actually wanted them to come out here, and yeah, that's what I mean. It's in Asia. But I wanted them to fight out here. Now,
knowledge, Mike. Go in. Get him.
I love that Frankie. I love that Frankie wanted to come out to Hawaii. I love that he even got on that. Like, okay, Max wants to fight out there. Max the champ. I would love to come out and fight in Hawaii. I love them for saying that. That's kind of, for me, it's a salty subject because it's, like I told you guys last time I spoke to you a couple weeks ago, they love MMA out here. It's a culture.
A couple weeks ago. You haven't called it in this show since Carl's been on.
That's true. It's months. But either way, I just really appreciated Frankie for wanting to get on the plane and fly out here and have a UFC out here and respect where the champ wanted to fight. And I thought it fit well. And then of all places, not Caesars, not LA, not Houston. We're going to send you guys to Detroit. It's kind of like, fuck both of you. That's what they're saying. Go to Detroit.
Well, I think they could use the cash infusion out there, don't you think?
It's because of the new arena. That's what it is. It's the new arena. They got the new Little Caesars arena. So obviously the UFC is trying to just help out, and I'm sure they got a pretty penny out of the city of Detroit or whoever just for coming there. So, but it's like, what's next? They're gonna fight in Cleveland in 2 months? Like, that's the only place you can go lower.
Yeah. Stipe's the heavyweight. Yeah, Stipe. Stipe's from Cleveland. That'd be a big money fight to have it there. You'd have to have him on the card then.
Yeah. Well, you'd think they'd have to have Frank.
Well, you were. I remember your Facebook comment where you said your allegiance lies with Frankie.
I remember. They're gonna have a card in fucking Keensburg.
What, at the Heroin Arena?
Oh no.
Jeez.
And oh no. No, my loyalty would definitely been to Frankie. That's one of the few fighters I actually personally care. If he loses a fight, I get upset.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was disappointing when he got pulled from the event. I don't know if you listened to the show. We had his teammate Sean Teed on, and he was there the day that it happened, but he didn't see who did it. He didn't see how the hell it happened, but it was definitely a facial fracture. That
sucks. I was going to call bullshit on that, but I was like, no, I'm not going to.
How did it happen?
I was taking a shit,
Yeah. Like, no one, everyone look away. Frankie got hurt. No, they're teammates. They're just not talking about it.
How big of
which I would expect.
How bad would you fucking feel if you were the one that did it? Honestly,
it depends on how I did it.
That's why they're not talking about it.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, if it's an honest injuries happen. I mean, if you're like, I fucking hate this guy, I'm gonna put my thumb in his eye. That's different. I don't think he'd be on his team though. But unless you work for Aldo, maybe.
Oh, he's a spy.
So what do you think? Think in this fight, how quick do you think Max dusts Aldo? You think it's gonna get out of the first round?
I look at like second, third. I mean, Aldo's not he's obviously one of the best, so he's not going to come in with the same fight plan and whatnot. But I look at it like, one guy's on the way up and one guy's on the way down, and the fight game is hard. I mean, you look at Anderson Silva. When you fall off, I mean, you're still good, but guys are constantly getting better. Young guys are constantly coming up, and it's a young man's sport. That's why you look at guys like when Randy couldn't do what Randy did now, what he did 10, 15 years ago when he came back at 42 years old. Like that.
And, Max is going to be tough to beat, man. He's going to be tough to beat at that weight for a while.
To correct you, Randy at 42 years old could still compete with the heavyweight division at 42 years old.
I mean, in today's fight, I mean, 10 years ago it was a little different. It was a little thinner talent pool. Right now, the talent pool is so stocked.
Today's heavyweight division, I think Randy Couture would probably be top 3, even losing 6 fights in a row. That's
Jesus Christ, he's not Angela Magana. Fuck out of here. Jesus.
Yeah, no. Either way, once guys are on the way down, it's hard to keep back up. It's hard to keep pace with the younger guys, especially a guy like Max, who's obviously on fire. Like I wholeheartedly, for as much as I would have loved Frankie and I would have been supporting Frankie, I wholeheartedly thought that Max would win that fight. I don't think there's anybody you can put him in the ring with right now that's going to beat him handily. I mean, obviously a punch can punch and things happen. That's why it's a great sport. But, I mean, all things being equal, Max is he's one of the top 3, 4 guys.
He's stronger as the fight goes, man.
Yeah, and what's he, like 26 years old, something silly? Like,
I don't even know if he's that. He might be 25.
Yeah, no,
right?
he's young. And
he's
Chris had said when we were talking about Max Holloway months ago, we watched him grow up in the octagon. He cut his teeth in the octagon from start to where he is now. It's been, God, I love watching the guy fight. I think Frankie would beat him just on, I guess, I don't want to say skill, because Max is 100% skill. I just think it's just Frankie's status. How long he's been there. I think Frankie would beat him.
I mean, but in the same sense, man, it's like you're like 6-7 years from the Gray Maynard fights. Frankie's getting older too. I love him, and I would have been rooting for him. I think anybody you put in there against Max,
they might even have been longer ago than 6-7 years. Let's be honest.
It was
no.
It was 2000.
No. It's
Maynard
Maynard
2 was 2010. It was I remember because I made my wife go to the bar on our honeymoon so we could watch the Maynard.
So when was Maynard Edgar 1?
Maynard Edgar
I don't even know.
Frankie was still at Rhino when he fought Maynard the first time. That was 2008, maybe.
And the second one was 2011. It was October 2011.
Frankie's been at it a while.
Yeah, so I don't think.
I mean, he hasn't slowed down though. Like when you watch him fight,
true.
he hasn't slowed down.
I'm not knocking Frankie, man. I respect the hell out of Frankie. It's crazy. You know, I fuck around with you a lot, but come on, you know I'm not dumb.
No, I know, dude. I know that your hate with Frankie is just to fuck with me, because I know you appreciate good fighters. That's why you don't cape up for Artem, which is your, baby's daddy's fucking teammate.
Yikes!
There you go.
Yikes!
There you go.
Fuck me.
I won't even cape up for Connor if I think he's wrong. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I gotta give you credit with that. You didn't cape up for him with that whole Bellator debacle. You actually said he was an idiot for that. So I got to give you credit for that. And if you notice, I didn't make fun of you once this entire show. Notice that.
Yeah. You actually haven't. It's kind of weird. But,
I don't know what to do.
The pool was getting dry.
I don't know if I should be like, thanks, Tommy, because if you had something to say, you would.
No, I don't. Right now, I don't. I'm in a good mood. Mike has finally called us after fucking 7 years. What the fuck?
I was on timeout for a little while.
Yeah, you missed the 1 year anniversary show. What the hell, man?
I listened to it. I didn't call in. I listened to a lot of them late, because I was literally at the park with my kids when the show was going on. So a lot of them I was catching after the fact. So you guys are doing your thing. I'm definitely proud of you guys and happy with listening to the show, and I'm glad I'm one of the first guys on the line and one of the first guys listening. So, keep doing your thing, guys. Max Holloway would beat the shit out of Connor.
Yes.
Yes. Fucking
yes.
Yo, thank you, Mike. Mike's a legend.
Yes.
On that note, fellas, great talking. I'll let you guys close out the show. I don't want to take too much of your time. Thanks for taking my call, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you next week after Max rubs the fucking floors of Detroit with Aldo's face.
Nice,
sir.
I'm not going to disagree with
right.
you on that one.
Sweet. All right, man.
He's going to leave him at the train station.
And honestly, I can't even say that Max wouldn't even fucking be a great fight for Connor. That's the second most interesting fight for me.
That's like one of the only fights out right now. But anyway,
Max
fellas,
can go
be
up
safe
to 155.
Connor's not fighting 155. Connor's not fighting. He's done.
Yes.
That fight would have to go down at lightweight.
Say it again, Mike. Say it again.
It's gonna have to be 140. It's gonna have to be 145 because we know Connor's not defending a belt, so he's gonna have to go to 145 to fight him. Fight at 155 and the belt's on the line all of a sudden.
I can't even say anything. I can't. I'm not gonna sit here and like I said, I'm not gonna. You got to fight. I'm getting tired of it. I want to see him fight.
Mike Bisping fought more in November than Conor McGregor has title fights in his entire life. Title defenses in his entire life.
Yes.
That's crazy, right?
Oh.
That's crazy.
Oh my
That's
God.
Crazy.
I mean, you could say that anybody that fought once. You could say anybody Anybody that fought once in any month has more title has more fights in that month than Conor has title defenses.
Angelo Magana has lost
crazy,
more fights in the octagon than Conor has title defenses. Okay.
Oh my God!
Like if I have one,
I have as many MMA fights as Conor McGregor has title defenses.
Oh
no shit!
Yeah.
That wow. That's wow.
It's true,
yeah.
right? It's fucking crazy.
It's a fucking yeah.
Either way, fellas, got my Conor bashing in. Big up Frankie, big up Max, and looking forward to the fight this weekend. Either way, fellas, keep
fucking
doing
knock
your thing.
Max
and,
out. Make you pay for that comment.
All right, Mike. Thank
safe,
you.
Fellas. Stay warm.
All right, Mike.
Right,
good talking to you, buddy.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Take care, Mike.
All right, man.
Bye.
Oh man, Mike I was hoping he called in tonight. I really was. I was hoping he called in because we haven't heard from him in a while.
Yeah, and usually he drops in when there's a Max fight coming up.
No, well, the last time we talked to him was when Max Pecker slapped Aldo the first time.
Yeah.
Pecker slapping. That's amazing. Fucking, that's really what it was.
Yo, which means he slapped him with his pecker. In case you guys don't know what that meant.
No.
Good. Chris has just taken his 17th hit from the bong after that comment.
Chris, I love you. That's amazing.
At least
which means,
fifth or sixth. I lost count, but it's not even. But it's also not a bong. It's just a.
It's a little pipe. We know. It's all good.
All right, and if the feds are looking for Chris Gucci, he's in New Jersey. It's not hard to find him. He's probably hanging out.
Bro, I got a
school.
card, bro. I'm legal.
Yeah, library card. That's where you meet your chicks.
Oh my
Something
God.
like that, you know?
Yeah. Oh.
Something like that.
Anyway.
Oh man. So yeah, let's be serious here. With that crap that DC was talking and stuff like that. Don't you think it's a complete slap in the face to Edson Barboza, who's the guy's ranked number 3. He deserves Khabib, who's because of inactivity, is now ranked number 2. Don't you think that is the fight to make, A, for us fans, and B, from a legitimate standpoint, after what happened to them in Congress? Don't you think that this is a legitimate fight to make, not Khabib and Tony? Honestly. Omar, I'm going to go to you first before we wrap up.
I don't think legitimacy is on the agenda in the UFC anymore. I think they owe a lot of money. I haven't heard. I've kept my one good ear to the ground, trying to listen for what the TV deal might be. I haven't heard much. I don't think they're really giving two shits about legitimacy right now. If they did, you know what would have happened? Ben Askren wouldn't be retiring, not having fought in the UFC. If they wanted to be legitimate, we can name 10 fighters.
His last fight was fucking Fugazi.
Oh, it was completely Fugazi, but it was terrible. It was terrible, but that's a dude that deserved to be fighting the best of the best and just figuring it out. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say he would have beat everybody. I'm saying he would have given a lot of people a lot of trouble. Okay? I think legitimacy has not really been on the radar for as long as they figured out that they make more money doing the big money fights. And that's it. I think somewhere in their mind they've lost the window to be a legitimate sport, so they're just going to cash in because they got to pay some bills.
But my question is it a legitimate fight when it's already faltered 2 times previous?
Oh, I don't want to see anything of import put onto Khabib's head until he shows that he can consistently make the weight.
That's what I was going to say. You just stole my answer, so I might as well cut in and interject. Until Khabib proves that he makes lightweight again, there's no reason why he should get anything involving a belt or a main event. Really.
Interim or otherwise, right?
I can see giving him a co-main. I mean, because I don't know how you're not.
Don't give him a fucking belt.
Or otherwise,
fuck
that,
belt,
man.
For God's sakes, nothing, 0, until he proves he can make the weight, making consistently, not kill himself, and then perform. I don't want to see him make weight and then the next day he lays a fucking egg. I want to see the Khabib that I'm ready to pay to see. A couple of times.
If he gets touched by Barboza the way Michael Johnson touched him up, he might not survive that.
He would
That's all
die.
I'm gonna say.
Barbosa would drop him and kill him if he gets lit up that way.
I'm sure he'll be a little more cautious because of the striking, but
he'll shoot the second he gets in the cage. Even before the face-off, he'll just start shooting in.
But a scared shot might not be the best thing he could do. He needs to
pull guard.
I can't wait. I cannot wait to see that. Yeah,
and Omar, you and I have caped up pretty good for Khabib. From the beginning of this show, you and I have caped up for Khabib. But
I love the guy. I love his style. I love what he represents. It's tremendous. But yeah.
Fuck. I've always been team fuck Khabib.
That's because you know Khabib could beat Conor.
Oh, okay.
Facts.
At what weight?
Absolutely.
Is Conor moving up to welterweight?
Anyway, gangster weight. Let's do some Chelson business up in this bitch.
Well, to me, I would think that if Khabib puts on a good show against Edson, you would think he'd be able to put on a good show against Tony because, like I had said before, Edson was doing pretty well against Tony until he got caught in the submission.
I think Tony gets beat by Kevin Lee if he doesn't have fucking staff. Fuck Tony.
I don't.
I know. I agree. I will absolutely.
He was mounted, bro.
I absolutely agree with that. If you get a Kevin Lee that has stamina, Tony doesn't pull that up.
Kevin Lee's the guy that had a matchup, and I don't think anybody really wants to fight him right now either.
No.
You see, here's what throws me.
He should be fighting fucking what's his name? Poirier.
Darren Till.
Poirier.
Well, here's what throws me with that because it's almost I don't want to say Tony lets people do what they want, but that's always been Tony's stigma. Like, let the guy come out on top, do what he's got to do, get him on the ground, and then Tony always seems to find a way. Edson was beating Tony on the feet. Handily was beating him on the feet until it got to the ground. I mean, there's not too many guys who could hang with Tony on the ground from that, 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. I know Conor.
Yeah, he's just got that weird. He's got a weird attack, very weird attack.
And I'm not taking a shot at Conor with this, but Dylan Dennis' jiu-jitsu is not beating Eddie Bravo's jiu-jitsu, not on any day of the fucking week. Not on any day of the week. I just hope that the UFC does the right thing and keeps the Barbosa-Khabib fight, because I think that's Khabib's biggest test. Not Tony. Edson's Khabib's biggest test, a high-level striker like that. That's what I think is his biggest test. Omar, do you agree with me?
I think that is going to be the fight, if it ever happens, that finally shuts people up and says, listen, yes, he fought a couple of cans early in his career, but you know what he also did against those cans? Won. He won consistently. He walked through people. A lot of people fight cans and they lose some of their focus and they get caught by folks. He didn't. But he needs one of those fights. The Michael Johnson fight for me was one of those things where I can point to and say, hey, listen, he's legit. But there was also some flaws there. If he does fight Edson, I do think that it would be a stiffer test for him because the things that Tony wants to do in a Khabib situation, Khabib does better. Those strengths are just play into the hands of somebody like a Khabib Nurmagomedov. No, I butchered that one. But
Nurmagomedov.
Man,
Nurmagomedov.
There we go. Okay.
Khabib.
But Khabib, he's got, he's like Tony Ferguson on Elk Blood. No, but I think it's one of those things where he's going to get tested worse against a guy like Edson. Edson's not going to be stupid. Edson's not going to try to grapple with him. I think Tony would. And then he's going to get smushed. Badly.
Chris, what do you think before we wrap?
What do I think is going to happen between Khabib and Edson?
Yeah.
I think Khabib's going to get slept with a fucking kick, like right to his fucking jaw. or like the front of his shin, right to his chin / lip / nose.
Yeah, but do you think like Omar was saying, Khabib might take a conservative approach?
Of
or do
course,
you think
that's
Khabib's
only
going to
that's
shoot
his only
straight
chance.
for the takedown?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that would be the most conservative approach, would be to just shoot right for the takedown, like not even waste no time. I don't even know that he's going to go for a takedown. I think that's too risky. I think he might just try and push him against the cage and, clinch him and drop to a double. That's what you're going to see out of Khabib.
The smother against the cage.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah. Okay.
And,
fair enough.
Well, yeah.
I mean, now that I say that, it makes me so much less excited to see this fight.
He talked himself out of being hyped for the fight. Like,
I still think it's funny though, because when you really, that's what makes this an interesting fight. Because you're like, if he does connect, the fight's over. But there's a good chance he just gets mauled for fucking 25 minutes.
Well, hopefully the Barbosa Khabib fight still happens, and they don't try and.
Are they fighting at welterweight? Because
yeah.
That's the only time.
Well, hopefully the UFC doesn't do any tomfoolery and try and set up an Edson versus Tony fight. So we'll keep our ear to the ground for that. So guys, we're gonna wrap up now. This was a great show. Always fun having Bobby Wombacher on. I'm excited to see him on the event this weekend. Check out the Ultimate Fighter finale of the fights that nobody watched, but there's some good other fights that are on that card. And next week we have Lion Fights rising star Trevor Rajan. Isn't that the greatest name in the entire world? Rajan. I wish I had a fucking awesome last name like that. It's like Max Power. So we'll have him on. He's got a fight coming up in Thailand in January. And are we doing a video cast this weekend, guys?
On the weekend, maybe.
Omar, are you in the States?
Maybe the weekend. Yeah.
Maybe the weekend.
Well, we can't do it Wednesday?
No, it's my girl's birthday. Big 3-0.
All right, so we'll have her on.
Oh, Jesus. You don't want to hear it.
Next Wednesday, it's my girl's birthday.
Chris, you have a girl?
Yeah.
You have a girl, Chris?
That's
Was
amazing.
She 12? 13?
Is it really her birthday in 2 weeks? Because it's mine.
No.
It is. December 6th.
I don't even have a girl, dude. I was just
That's
fucking
me,
around.
man. That's messed up. I was about to be like, yo, Sagittarius are the best. You better lock her down.
Well, what about Thursday,
now you
guys?
can go fuck
What
yourself.
about Thursday? We haven't done a video. I haven't seen your two ugly mugs.
I look phenomenal. I shaved that terrible beard because I'm done with that.
All right, so we got
the wedding.
Thursday.
Got a soul patch.
Are we available Thursday?
We'll discuss it in the chat.
Okay.
We'll do that.
All right, listen, everybody. Hopefully you're still listening. Thank you to Bobby. Thank you to Mike for calling in. Thank you to Kareem for falling asleep on the fucking phone. Falling asleep at 9 o'clock, then wakes up to play video games. I don't get it. But anyway, we are the Pride Rules Podcast. Keep listening in. We're gonna have some more guests coming up for you. We are sponsored by 80K Fightwear, Black Hole Jiu-Jitsu, Madama Jiu-Jitsu, 2-Minute Warning, 360. That's right, I said 360. We've moved. Look for us. Keep listening to some other great podcasts, The Fighter, The Writer, and The Fans, Cage Side Submissions with Steve. Don't forget to listen to our buddy Scott Brennan, Verbal Shenanigans. Guys, we will talk to you next week. Good night.